Let's get rolling here. So this session, I believe, does it 7 have an agenda? Tell me what I'm doing. Objections. Okay. We're going to hit objections this session. And so it could be anything from the front desk, patient scheduling, anything you get during your consultation. Day 2, it could be anything anywhere in your while you're going through pamphlets. It could be, anything that you get, time, money, spouse, you name it. So we're just gonna what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go around the room and you guys let me know what you want to work on and what you might be having a problem with. We'll write it down and we'll just take one at a time. Okay. So anything in particular you're running into that you want to handle?
Of course, the finances.
Money? Anything else?
One of the other ones I've been getting is they don't want to do the full treatment plan, but they just want to do adjustments.
Not doing full treatment plan. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Time. Okay. Anything else? Nada? Anything? Nada? How do I know it's going to work? Okay.
It's more complicated than money. We only have one.
Finance options. Okay.
Spousal attendance.
Spouse attendance.
What I should add one in there, notice, at least on the rehab side, where patients are getting frustrated, maybe not seeing the results as fast.
Some timing of care, like results. Concerns on results. Okay. Is that it? We hit them all. Insurance won't cover. Okay.
Rare that I get it, but it's happening.
Second opinion. Okay. Guarantee. Anything.
Like, if they've never been to chiropractor before, like what it's going to do to their body or the pain.
Lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
You're kind of like it's a concern on the service. Like, how do I know this is going to work?
Right.
Kind of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Any others? Anything else in the chat? Anyone else? Anything else from home? Okay. So a couple things before we jump into this is kind of touched on this earlier. So the better that you do at day 1 and day 2 with your communication, your ARC, bringing up their awareness, the fewer objections you're going to have. Okay. So, when you get to the end of the report of findings and you get them to demand for improvement. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at as far as getting this as best you possibly can? Now, this is where you want to lay out. This is where you pull the objections out and just kill them, crush them. You go over your office policies, you go over your rules. What is your no-show or missed appointment policy? How quickly do they need to make it up? What is what type of patient do they have to be? I'll give you a little bit of a script that you can use for that. But then you lay out all your rules to your office, but then you say, so on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at as far as getting this as best you can? And then just stop talking. And then anything less than a 10, you just acknowledge it. Say, okay, why aren't you a 10? And then that's the the invitation for them to discuss what their concerns are or whatever objection they may have. Okay. So a couple of drills that you can work on. So the scale of 1 to 10 drill is something that you can do where it's like you have a coach and you have a patient, and you just say, so on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? Objection. And you say handle. Now where are you at on a scale of 1 to 10?
7.
7. Yeah. Okay. Then I would say you're 7. So why are you not a 10? Handle. So you're just saying objection, handle. What the process of that is geared to do is just to get into the groove of your case manager or the provider who's doing this, to making sure they get that patient to a 10. Does that make sense? You know, what you don't want to do is like, so on a scale of 1 to 10, where you as far as getting this as best you can? You know, why not a 10?
I don't think that the shockwave is what I was told that ultrasound.
Okay. And then you normally just handle that and go over why it's better or whatever you, but the thing is, you don't want to be reasonable here. This is where you don't get reasonable and start changing the plan. If the doctor has given orders, you don't change the plans. The orders are based on getting the patient as best they possibly can. Okay. So that's something that you want to put in the back of your mind, and the recesses of your mind, is you don't be reasonable. Another thing I would recommend that you understand is that the number one reason why someone doesn't start on care, do you guys know what that is? The number one reason. Okay, money. What else?
Their problem.
I'm sorry?
They don't solve their problem.
Okay. What else? What were you going to say, sir? They're not there. Okay. There's nothing wrong with any of those. Here's the number one reason why someone doesn't start care. It's you. It's who's ever presenting it. See, and the reason why I'm stating that is if you're presenting to a patient and they don't start care, there's only one person's fault that they didn't start care, and that's you. Maybe you didn't educate them properly. Maybe you didn't handle the objection properly. Maybe you were reasonable when the patient said it's expensive, and you actually agreed with them, like you don't believe in your product. You know, you believe that they have a money consideration. You know, and here's the thing: like if someone values what you do, they will find the money for it. 80% of the time, when someone says it's a money problem, it's not money. It's a stall. They're using money as a stall. Okay. So it's, if you have that mindset that the only reason why someone doesn't start care is because of me, then there's something you can do about it. Cause now I would say you're being cause for what's going on instead of being the effect of things. You know, when you become the effect of your environment, it's not a fun place to be. Right. So let's go over a couple of, before we jump into these too much, let's go into some rules that will increase closing percentage. Number one, we always agree. So let's say you did a spot on, you know, it was just fantastic presentation. You educated the patient, you hit all the spot, you know, you brought their awareness up, you did everything on the flows properly, and you get the finances. And so let's say, and we'll go over finances here a little bit, but you get to the financial presentation. So let's just say you say, hey, it's 5,000 for the program. Most people sitting in that chair want to save as much money as they possibly can. And so we actually offer a 10% discount for people who pay for it in full. So that would save you $500, you know, so the total would be $4,500. Is that what you'd like to do? Once you present it, stop talking. Okay. Doesn't matter how much silence there is or how long there's a pause, just stop talking. Okay. The old adage that, you know, the person who talks first loses. So you just got to remember, like, you just got to bite your tongue, as you know, and some people will take some, let them process it. Like one thing that's really important to understand is when you ask a question, you make sure that you get an answer to your question. And so if you say, hey, is that something you'd like to do? You know, what, and if you were to ask another question before they've really processed that, you're just creating randomity in their mind. Too many things to process. So just put it out there, say, is that what you like to do? And stop talking. Okay. First person who talks loses. The next rule is you always treat every objection as a complaint. You don't know if it's a complaint or an objection yet. Okay. So how many of you have ever complained about the price of something and still bought it? Seen some nodding heads, you know. What's that?
Every one of us.
Yeah, every one of us has done that, right? Has anyone bought in a car here before? First time you see the price, what do you think? Damn, like that's expensive, but you still drive off the lot with it. So we're like a world full of complainers, right? We complain about everything, right? So you treat it as a complaint. So how you do that is, you know, you say, so it's $5,000. Most of the people sitting in that chair like to save as much as possible. Is that you? They're gonna be like, yeah. Well, you know, we give a 10% discount for people who pay in full, who have the ability to pay in full. So that would save you $500. You bring up your tone, you save you $500. Is that what you'd like to do? And if they say, wow, that's expensive, just say, the next rule is you agree. So I'm going to treat it as a complaint. I'm going to agree. So I'm going to say, it is expensive. Yeah, you're right. Then you just gently give it back to them. What would you like to do? Yep. Yeah, you're right. So here's what I would use dollars. When you're saying savings, you say dollars.
Okay.
Yeah. When it's the price of your program, don't say dollars. Yeah. But when you say savings, so you're going to say $500. You know. So is that what you'd like to do? And stop talking. Treat it as a complaint. That's expensive. You agree. Yes, it is expensive. How would you like to take care of that? Gently give it right back to them. Now, if they bring up money again, now you're dealing with a potential legitimate objection. Okay. But what you'll see is when you treat it like that, there's a high percentage of people that will just start. When you treat a complaint, if it is a true complaint,
Yeah.
if you treat that like an objection, it becomes an objection. They'll dig their heels on it. Okay. You know, that's a lot of time. I agree. It does take a lot of time. What would you like to do? And then stop talking. Okay. You don't handle something that you don't have to, and that will save you a lot of time in the finances. So another reason why I like to present the finances one option at a time and not giving too many choices. Like some people have trained out there before. Oh, you know, we have different options. Option A is pay in full and you save, 10%. We also have outside financing and then we have inside finance. Too many options. When you offer too many options, it creates a situation where the patient has to think about it. And it can be hard for them to make a decision. Okay. And you're spending all this time going over all the options when they may have just chosen to do the first one, and then your financial cycle would be done. You'd already have them sign the paperwork and you'd already be out the door. Okay. Next rule, if it is a legitimate objection, is you want to write this one down. This is the very reason, the very objection they're giving you is the reason why they should do treatment. Okay. The objection is the very reason why they should do treatment. So that might look like this. I agree. It is expensive. What would you like to do? And if they say, man, that's just a lot of money, just say, I understand. You said earlier that if you didn't do anything about this, your condition would worsen. This is the very reason why you need to do care, because do you think it's going to be less expensive or more expensive if you wait in time? Okay. What do you think they're going to say? Is it going to get more expensive if they wait? If their condition deteriorates, does it cost more to fix it or less? It's going to be more. That's the very reason why you should do this. You're actually saving money doing this now.
Could you give an example, Dr. Gary? So for those that are not doctors, maybe are newer to this game, right? When you say when a patient would spend more if the condition worsened, what are they spending more doing? Okay, so regen's going to be, plus the phys med program's 12 grand. The patient goes, I'm going to wait or think about it, and they're going to spend more later. Can you give us some examples of what in healthcare they're spending more on, and whether it's...
Sure. I mean, if someone waits too long and they can't do anything, I mean, maybe you can't help them anymore and they have to have a surgery. You think surgery is going to cost more than a regenerative product with rehab? Not only that, it can cost them their life because there's potential side effects of surgery. There's potential side effects of medications. There's a lot higher cost. I mean, so don't think of it in terms of just costs and money. There's things that are more valuable than money, right? So another objection handle, this is a really good one, and then we'll start diving into these. But when you have someone who is stuck on have you ever had someone who's stuck on maybe they can't pay for it in full and they do not qualify for outside financing. So you have to do in-house financing. And let's say the monthly payment is, $500. Let's say it's like $800 a month for the next 10 months. It's an $8,000 program. So it's $800 a month. Has anyone had a patient say the monthly payments are just way too high? You ever get that? I mean, listen, people are on a budget because they spend money, not because they don't spend money. Number one.
Can you repeat that one more time, Gary? It's a really good tagline there. A good bumper sticker.
Right.
People spend money. People have a budget.
Yeah. People are on a budget because they spend money. Okay. They spend money. You got to realize that. It's just what they're going to spend money on what they value. So if you've done a really good job increasing the value of your services and what they value, they'll find a way for the money. Now, if someone is stuck on that payment, this is where I would go what's your name?
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Can you role play with me real quickly?
Sure.
Okay, Lindsay. You have a mic? Okay, good. So Lindsay, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? Let's say you're stuck on the payments. It's $800.
Okay.
So Lindsay, do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Mm-hmm.
Personal questions?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So do you have a house?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking what you pay monthly for your house?
$1,200 a month.
$1,200 a month? Okay. And how many hours a day are you in that house? Including sleep.
I don't know, 12.
12 hours. Okay, good. Thanks. Do you have a car?
Yes.
Do you have a payment on your car?
Yes.
Yeah.
600.
600. Wow. Yeah. How many, do you mind me asking how long you spend in your car a day?
2 hours.
2 hours. Okay, good. So Lindsay, I just want you to kind of grasp this here.
Mm-hmm.
You spend $1,200 a month for a house that you're in 12 hours a day. You spend 2 hours a day in your car. You spend $600 a month.
Right.
And you need this care that's going to cost you $800 for a body that you live in 24/7, 365.
Right.
Right. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
I would do it.
Okay. I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth, right? In your body 24/7, 365, you're always going to be, you're at, let's just be real about this for a second. Your greatest asset is you. Your mind and your body is your greatest asset. It's not your house. It's not your car. And none of you are leaving this planet alive. And none of you are taking anything with you. The Egyptians tried it. Right? And they were robbed. Right? So you got to understand that like money is something that is in abundance everywhere. Just look around you. It's everywhere.
Especially in the last couple of years.
Yeah. They're just printing this stuff out left and right. So there's plenty of it. So the mindset that you guys really want to adopt is it's not if they can do this, it's just they're going to do this and you're going to help them figure it out. So you become a financial planner for them. You once you're done with educating the patient, now you got to wear a different hat. You got to wear like a financing hat. Like, and you're just they've already decided to do care. They just need to figure out how they're going to pay for it. Okay. So,
and I'll add to this, Dr. Gary, at the end of the day, I wish their insurance would cover all of it. Like, I would love nothing more than for 2 cc's or 3 cc's regenerative services to come by their insurance. I want the patient to use their insurance. The problem is big insurance doesn't want to pay you. It doesn't want to pay the patient. Is big insurance going to be covering more visits and more services like the big 5? Aetna, UHC, Blue Cross, they're going to be covering more visits as the years go on for your services? What do they do every single year for those that have been in this game for long enough? They do what? Increase amounts of visits or decrease? We just had they anywhere say 8 to 12% of inflation this last 18 months. Are they at least giving us a cost of living inflation on reimbursements? That's the ethical thing to do, right? They should at least be increasing reimbursements 8 to 12% on services that they're covering to the provider. Are they doing that? The exact opposite, right? Okay, second thing. So they're going to pay your office less. They're going to reimburse you for a minimal amount of services, and they want to play doctor regarding what the patient can get. So all of this, right, just to make sure, again, we're on the right mindset. I know most of us are in the room, and we all are, but at the end of the day, I hate to say it, but this is the route to get patients what they have to get. I wish the $11,000 was covered with a small copay, but the fact is that it's not. And if I can just give one more objection handle, and then we can go into all these here. If a patient says, I'm only going to do what my insurance covers, and they're stubborn about it, I'll give you a little teaser here from Dr. Matt Wolferts. He is a associate chiropractor at Georgia Integrated Health Center out in Ackworth, Georgia. It's one of our doctors. They do functional medicine and chiropractic, but they're at about the 200 mark a month in cash collections. They don't have to take any insurance in their office. And he says every time he gets that objection, the patient's insistent on it, he just has to have a heart-to-heart with them and say, listen, I'm pissed off too that your insurance doesn't cover. Matches their tone level, acknowledges them. I wish it covered more too. But the fact of the matter is, can I be honest with you? Patient says, yeah, your insurance is the very reason that you're in front of me today, right now, with what you have going on. And then he just pauses. And you know what 9 out of 10 new patients say when he says that? This is what he tells me. He goes, they sit there and they go, I know, you're right. He goes, so let's figure this out.
Yep.
And he moves forward. Again, he doesn't treat it like it's the end of the world. He treats it like a complaint, just as Dr. Gary says. And then he moves him forward to a call of action. And most people will get that. So super important just from a standpoint of mindset. We wish it could be one way. It just isn't. You guys have the best solution out there. The patient just has to invest in it with their hard-earned money and time themselves, because their insurance company is not going to save them. No matter what kind of bill of services they've been sold regarding it, all the years of branding from not only commercials and friends and family and politicians about how proper healthcare means you have insurance, which is not what that means, right? But they have years of that in their head. So we have to, unfortunately, they go through emotions sometimes. You got to work them through it, give them the hard hitting points, and move them forward. So it's a good one you guys can write down, practice it. The next time your patient says that, if you have good ARC with the patient, they've moved up the awareness scale, you can say that to them and they'll get it, right? And they'll understand, they'll connect with you on that. Right? So it's a good one. All right, good. Dr. Gary?
So let's just hit the top one first, money. Now, there's different ways that you can handle money. And you have to know who's sitting in front of you. You're going to communicate differently with someone who is like an alpha male or female, or versus someone who, let's say it's someone who takes care of the kids at home, and doesn't, that maybe their job is at home and there's the significant others working, right? So, or you can even have a single parent who works full time and has kids, right? So you have to look at like, how would you handle those people? So again, just remember this, and we're going to drill this. I'm going to go over a couple examples, and we're just going to take a little bit of time to drill it. And I'm just going to put out there that who in here is taking the master closing course? Okay. The master closing course, when you take that, you get like a packet full of 75 different objection handles that cover the top 5. Like what have we said? You know, there's only 5. It all comes down to 5 categories of objections you're going to get, right? We got the first one is what? Money. Second one, time. Third, service or product. 4,
You're getting one up.
Stall.
I think everybody else needs to jump in on this one too. She's got them all.
Yeah. Anyone else? Last one. We covered it this morning already. It's the objection you don't find. They don't tell you. There's a lack of trust, right? They don't open up. So
I'm just going to recap that just to make sure we all got it, right? And we covered it a couple times. So number 1, it's money. Number 2, it's time. Number 3 is service. They don't trust. Is this the service? Are you the right place for me, right? 4 is stall. I got to think about it. They just say things to stall. And the 5th one, 4 plus 1, is the objection you never find.
Yep. So we have 75 different handles on those 5. And really, like when you take a step back and you learn these objection handles, it's like the more tools you have in your tool belt, the more you can handle. You know, how many of you get the same objection over and over again? By the way, you get the same one. What's that one for you? Money. Okay. This is going to hurt. But if you're getting the objection over and over again, it's because you have that same objection within yourself on things. When you go out shopping, that's too expensive. You know, when you go buy stuff, I'm not saying that you might subconsciously be thinking that, right? But you know, if the universe keeps giving you something, it's because what you're putting out in the universe. Remember we said earlier, like if you give out anger, you get anger. If you give love, you get love. If you bitch about money, you complain about money, you're going to get people complaining about money. It's like you're a mirror of the universe. Like what you put out there is what you get back. You know, so I want you guys to start having an abundance mindset. You gotta have an abundance mindset. But here's the thing: you'll still get that objection, but it'll just be like you're a black belt. Like it's like you guys ever watch you watch Wonder Woman? The bullets are flying at her, and she's just like, you know, it's like you're handling the objections like it's nothing. And so what happens is you still get them, but you're like, done. And you probably you probably do that. So I'm not saying you exactly have that consideration, but I want you to take a step back and look at it. Do I have that consideration? Because as an example, when I got out of clinic, you know, decades ago, student clinic, you know, people would come to student clinic and they'd pay $5 for x-rays and a couple bucks for an adjustment. And then when you get out in the real world and you buy an x-ray machine, and you got to pay for that x-ray machine, you got to pay for a lease, and you got to pay for all these things. It's no longer $10 for an x-ray. You got to charge a couple $100, right? I was, and I had to confront that. So guess what? I was getting all kinds of objections on x-rays because I had a problem with it internally. And until I handled that internally and understood the why behind you take an x-ray, never had that problem ever again. Okay. So when we look at the money, always remember you treat it as a complaint first, you agree with them, and then you the objection is the very reason why they should do it if they keep bringing it up. Now, how that might look is if you have a let's say you had that single parent who works full time and has kids. Okay, first off, who is the last? This is good for like a female patient, but when you look at women in general, in what order do they take care of things? Kids, spouse, themselves. When do they take care of themselves? First or last? Last, all the time. So how you handle that is, it is expensive. Okay. But you deserve this. And you can't take care of your kids, you can't take care of your husband unless you actually take care of yourself. So let's do this. Okay. You deserve it close. There's the congratulation close. If you have an alpha male or female in front of you who's very successful, they're kind of ego driven. Won't you agree? They've kind of built up this ego. So it's like, hey, you should congratulate yourself on the fact that you can do this. Not everyone can. Let's do this.
I
You know,
want you guys to write down this part of the script. Those are really good objection handles if you guys want to practice these. But a key one that applies to all of it is let's do this. Those three words.
ask for the close.
That's right. That's
You
exactly.
ask for the close. That's what let's do this means. You're really asking for the close. And what a majority of people fail to do is ever ask for the close but once. You have to ask for it sometimes 2, 3, 4 times.
I'll go back to the example from this morning, right? That gal that had the close, and she talked her patient out of the close. She never asked for the close. She's going, okay, good. All right. Is this going to work for you? She didn't say, great, let's do this. Go ahead and sign here. Let's go ahead and get you started and get your first adjustment, right? It's let's do this. It's a great way just to move a patient through because you got to cut through all the mental noise that the patient has. So the patient's sitting there going, I don't know if I can. I got to think about it. I got to do this, got to do that. They have 1,000 voices in their head going all at once, consciously and subconsciously. Don't do it. You got other priorities. What's the wife going to think? Can I afford this? Can I have time? Da, da, da. And it's chatter and it's chatter and it's a lot of things. You just got to go, you're worth it. Let's do this. The doctor's ready to get you started. Pause, right? And that helps to penetrate their noise. Okay, good. I know who's in charge here. I know what needs to get done. I'm going to follow their lead. I'm going to start. Right? That's how you got to kind of cut through that. So the let's do this is a key one when asking for the close. I would say most case managers just don't ask for the close one more time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just always remember one more time. Listen, at the end of the day, if they don't start on care at that visit, what's the likelihood they're going to come back and start on care? What's your guys' percentage of people that come back and start on care if it doesn't happen on that second visit, report of findings day? I'm sorry? 25%? Yeah. Half, maybe, if you're lucky. If you have good follow-up systems, But the thing is you might as well just swing for the fences. You might as well keep asking, And the thing is has any of you ever gotten you're pressuring me? If you've never gotten you're pressuring me, that means you haven't asked 3 or 4 times. Because you're going to get that. They're going to feel pressured, And that's okay. You say, hey, that's not, I understand. That's not my intention. Please don't mistake my pressure for my persistence to helping you because I know this will help you. So let's do this. And you ask again. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to just drill the money one. You've got different ones. You can do, you deserve it. Congratulatory, you can do, the grateful, grateful one is the same. It's like, hey, this is an alpha person. Like, hey, listen, I completely understand the money. You should be grateful in the fact that you can do this. Most people can't. You put yourself in a really good position to take care of yourself so that you have a higher quality and quantity of life. Let's do this. It's just, and this is where if you just drill these over and over again, it just comes secondhand, second nature. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to piece together a little flow chart for you guys, just so when you practice, you know what you're doing. Always make sure this is the right objection. So if they complain about money or costs, the first question you should ask, oh, what about it concerns you? Then they'll give you more detail as to what the objection is, right? I got to think about it. It's the money. It's a lot of money. Well, I understand. What is it that concerns you? Oh, it's just a lot more than I was expecting. You're right. It is a lot more than maybe you're expecting, but you deserve this, right? Then go into your objection. So always make sure you have the right objection. So what is it that concerns you? Acknowledge, understand, treat as a complaint, right? You can use any of those clauses, move them through. We can also go through some more examples of, even beyond that, what you can do, but we'll start with those ones first. You got a few scripts you guys can work with. Let's go ahead and partner up and I'm going to go 2-2. And we're going to go 2. I'm going to split you guys up here on musical chairs, 2 and 2. Okay. I'm going to do 2-2. Good. And then we're going to round robin here in the back. All right. Good. And then I want you to go, one of you guys is going to be the new patient giving the money objection. And the other one's going to be the case manager or doctor that's getting the patient started on care. What is that concerns you? I completely understand. It is a lot of money. You're right. And then you can use any one of those clauses and practice it a few times. Do it 2 or 3 examples. Then we're going to go ahead and flip it around. You guys can go ahead and begin.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so very important. I want to give you guys some just more, again, bumper stickers, flow charts, quick triggers to always be thinking with, right? Matching their emotional tone level. Super key. But I'm going to give you a couple little tidbits of like, okay, well, how do I match someone's tone level? I'm not an actor. How do I do this? Right. I don't want to like be angry. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be quiet. Like I just want to, but I need to match them. So what does that mean? Right. So matching someone's emotional tone, right? Here's a simple way you can do it. You can just match their words. Patient says, well, this is too freaking expensive. You're right. It is freaking expensive. It is too freaking expensive. That's the easy way to match their tone. Just use their words. Here's another way you can do it. Listen, let's match their tone of voice. So practice this just for a second. I go, hey, what the hell? The traffic was terrible on the way here. Match my voice tone. get your volume next to my voice tone. It was a pain in the ass getting here. So much traffic. Voice tone.
You're right. It was a pain in the ass getting here.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Voice tone, right? And she matched my words and she matched my voice. You guys gotta get flexible, right? With how you meet and talk to people and like work this kind of stuff. Because if you're just a robot saying the script that yes, it is expensive, but you should do it because it's important. No one's gonna relate to that, right? ARC, reality. What's real? You gotta be just like them, right? Does it mean you're inauthentic? Absolutely not. You are exactly who you are. We gotta match their tone. So one more time, I just go, how about this? I'll make it really simple. No words. Just There you go. Perfect. You matched my tone. Good. All right. Words. I had no idea how bad off I was.
I had no idea how bad off you were.
Yeah, either, right? Yeah, right. I had no idea how bad off you were either. This is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Good. Matching words, right? Acknowledge me with my words. Those are real to me. What about body language, right? You have a 65 plus patient, very meek, right? I know it's just, I just don't want to get surgery. I'm way worried about that.
Totally understand. Getting surgery and things are a scary thing, and that's why we're here to help. Be able to prove that to where we don't have to.
Just soft tone, body language is good. Now I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this. Oh, I thought my insurance was supposed to cover more.
Yeah, it was for insurance covered more too.
Yeah. Right. Here's the thing. Don't get over the top and theatrical about it, but just match them, right? I was telling them like one thing that's really great. If you ever have a chance to get a drink with Dr. Gary or have dinner with him every once in a while, you'll notice he does this with everybody. There's a reason why everyone freaking loves this guy. Waiters, waitresses, bartenders, owners of restaurants, people he meets, attorneys he networks with. I know. Get a little behind the scenes here. The people love him because all he does, he reads them and he matches them. He builds a relationship in like 30 seconds. There's times we're getting dinner and all of a sudden the waitress is telling us her life story. And Gary's just like, man, that is bad. That is terrible. That guy does sound like a POS, you know? Because yeah, he's a real POS. Yeah, he does sound like a real POS. Matching words, tone level thing, ARC. And that person, and he's like, passing out a card to come into the office, whatever it might be, right? And he's getting new patients that way. So I'm going to give you guys an exercise as we bang through the rest of these, but just something you should absolutely be doing, make a discipline of every day or every week of your life, at least every week. Make a point every week to meet 3 to 5 new people, talk to strangers, and practice matching tone levels, building relationships, being relatable to people. Be relatable to the guy that's loud and obnoxious. Be relatable to the person that's like an accountant and very, buttoned up and conservative and shakes hands like this and has good posture and doesn't ever really, I'm not rooting for this team or this team, but I just want a good football game. That's all I want, Someone like that, or somebody who's really bubbly and excited, and other people who are super depressed and downtrodden, and people who are stressed out and just, have a story. It's crazy. Mirror and match people. It's a fun thing. I mean, you're with us. We went tone scale spotting, right? Were you at that one?
I did it. I would be a Zoom, but I actually went to the local Walmart because I had to go there that day.
There you go.
On my lunch break, I did it at Walmart.
Yeah. Matching tone levels, talking to people, talking to strangers. Get the Walmart people, right? The Walmart tone level. So,
Interesting.
yeah, that's right. So get comfortable talking to people of all walks of life. There's not one new patient Dr. Gary can't talk to that he can't relate to. From the biggest jackass to the quietest person walking into the room. He can relate to all of them, not just because he's special, because he's practiced this. He's practiced it. He's practiced it. And all these objection handles are coming out of those conversations, right? Out of the thousands of conversations, what were the best ways to, move the patient through the process in response to that objection when I was matching their tone level. And over time, we found that I deserve a close. Congratulations close. What is that concerns you question? Let's do this. Those things are born out of like thousands of day one, day two cycles of matching tones, and it works. So I would just say prioritize really part of that as your learning curve moving out of this, right? And tonight, go talk to two strangers, and just start trying to practice it, match tone levels, and listen to their words and acknowledge them with their words. And you're going to notice people are going to just flock to you and be attracted to you. And yeah.
Wow.
Use ARC. Just look at your environment, and you can easily get into for instance, if I was walking by someone, I'd just be like, man, chiropractic is awesome. Where do you practice? Oh man, I'm Gary. What's your name? Seth. Man, I love chiropractors. Yeah, you work there or?
Yeah, chiropractic assistant. I work with physical therapy. It's wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Wow. I definitely. Do you have a card?
Yeah, actually, here you go.
Yeah, perfect. You in town on business or what?
Here for training purposes. This is business card.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Cool. I know a lot of people in the area, but it's, I'll definitely refer people your way, but yeah, I love chiropractic, and yeah, you guys do great work.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Can I get you a beer? Whatever, right? Now if it was,
That's right.
but the thing is, that's a good drill to do. Get used to talking to people. Just go up. The waitress comes up to you, just there was a time where you're like, what is that? It's like a pajama. You wearing a pajama? It's just whatever, It's like, what is it? They're wearing it. They like it. Right. And also when you're getting communication with body language standpoint, sometimes people get out of, present time conscious very easy. They drift. And sometimes you got to be like, you with me? Yeah. So I'll body tap, it's like, we got this, it's like, be here now, because people will drift. Their mind will go off into other things. You'll see when they gloss over. When they gloss over, you've gone past something they don't understand, and so you got to get them in check sometimes. And it's just like and never, we have a whole list of 20 things to do's when you're presenting money. Like, you never stand, you always sit, you always have a pen, you always there's so many little details to this stuff. We're just kind of glazing over this stuff right now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So with that being said, all that, I think we all got the idea on that, right? 3 things: words, tone, voice, tone, body language. Match those, practice it, work with it. Not doing the full treatment plan. Gary, I have a rebuttal that's worked well, but what's your your best response to that when a patient wants to do something, but not the whole breadth of what it is you're offering?
Yeah. Well, first off, that's not the real objection. That's the first thing for me. It's either time or money, right? So if someone says, hey, if someone was just to say hey, if they want to, if they're treating it like a buffet and they want to cut things out and just do this or that, it's like, listen, I completely understand. It does take some time and commitment, but can I ask you a question,
Sure.
Ethan? Is this really about the treatment plan, or is this a money or a time concern for you?
It just seems like, I was hoping my insurance would cover more, and it's just a lot of, just a lot in there. I wasn't expecting to have to do this much.
I completely understand. I wish insurance covered you more as well.
Yeah.
But again, that's the very reason why you're here. If your insurance took care of you, you wouldn't be here right now. And so your body has declined to such a degree that we have to do the adjustment. We have to do the trigger point therapy. We have to do the large joint injection. We have to do the rehab, because your body is deteriorated to such a point. And if I was to shortchange it and cut it down from what you want, I'd be doing you a disservice. It'd be better for you not to even start, because the thing is some of it is not going to hit the nail on the head. So I need your full commitment, because if you're not fully committed to this, it'd be the same thing, Ethan, if you said, Gary, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to taking care of me? And if I said anything less than a 10, would you want to hire me? No. So I need your full commitment. I need you all on board so you get the best results, because we have a really good reputation in town and we pride ourselves on that, and you deserve to get the best possible results. So you ready?
Yep.
Let's do this.
Can we rewind the tape on that one more time, just to make sure
I don't even know what I said.
No, you did like three of your.
I did 3 or 4 different handles, but that's what this stuff does. When you learn this, you will roll 3 or 4 different handles into one thing.
So the main one was on, let's switch the roles for a second.
Yeah.
Patient, Ethan, if I was anything less than a 10 than your doctor on committee getting better, would you hire me?
Yeah.
And then the patient will always say, of course not. And you go, exactly. That's why we need you a 10 out of 10 on this program.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to be a 10 for you. You've used that a lot of times in day twos with patients.
Yeah.
So can we just do it one more time, just make sure they hear that one?
Sure. So Ethan, if you were to ask me this question on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed, as a provider, am I in taking care of you? And I said, anything less than a 10, would you want to hire me?
Why not?
Exactly. All I'm asking you is to be fully committed so you get the best possible results, so that you can go home and tell everyone about us, and we can help all your friends and family, and you can rave about us. That's our goal, is so that you get such a great result, but if we do anything short of what's been recommended, you're setting up failure. Now, I said things that I didn't say that before. This just like it just comes out. Like, it's just because of the repetition of going over this over and over and over. Right. But it's like, you have to have empathy for people while you're doing this. See, if you have empathy for people when you're doing this and you want to help them, then you can say anything to a patient with the right intention and they'll never get upset with you. Ever. Don't ever worry about that. And if they do, just like, hey, listen, my intention was not to upset. Like, you back away. Like, your body language, if someone feels like you're pressuring them, you take a step back, you lean back a little bit. Hey, listen, my intention isn't to pressure you. Don't mistake my pressure for persistence, and knowing what we do is going to help you. Now, you came to us for help. We're here now. Here's the plan to get you where you need to be. This not doing the full treatment plan, that's not an objection. It's that is a camouflage. That's a camouflage hole. Like, that is a money or a time concern or a trust issue.
So what's the one question, just a little pop quiz from an earlier segment about 15 minutes ago. What's the one question you could ask to uncover the real objection? To give you kind of a surface level objection before you start to try to handle that. We practiced this before. I said it a few times. What's the one question you could ask? It's going to be so easy the moment I say it. You guys know what it is. The one question you can ask to uncover the objection, their actual concern. What's the question? So yeah, I got to think about it. And so it's a lot of money. That one question before you handle it, you got to ask what? You said it earlier in your role play.
I'm really frustrated.
Yeah. Oh, what is it that concerns you? Oh, shit, I'm sorry. Oh, I stole your thunder. She got it. She had it. Yeah. So what is that concerns you? Oh, what I'm concerned about is I don't want to be wearing a brace and having to wear orthotics. This all seems like really unnecessary. I just want to get adjusted. Oh, good. It's now, what do we have? It's a service objection on the service. They don't trust they can get all the services. Then you can handle that.
So how do you handle it, by the way? I just want to come in and get adjusted like I have before. How would you handle that?
I know one thing that I've seen, one thing I've noticed with our doctor, whenever we've had that, he's coming and talked to us like, yeah, you've been coming for so long with just the adjustments, and what kind of improvement have you had? And he's like, you have all these other steps. This is just one step to be able to help get you back to function, and getting back to doing those things. You're only knocking on one door. There's several other doors that you need to open.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a great thing. What about if someone says, I just want to do what I've done in the past and come in and get adjusted? Have you guys gotten that before? Maybe they're going somewhere else and they've gotten treated here and there whenever it flared up. So what's a good handle for that?
I typically ask them why they decided to come to us instead of going back to the prior provider.
That's a great one. That's a great question. Great question. Well, I moved. Let's role play. I moved. I'm not there anymore.
Then I would end up asking them how they initially started with the care. Did they just come in for adjusting, or was it that there was other things that started off initially? Because they might have had, as they finished, they might have already gone through the other steps, and now they're just trying to pick up where they've left off, which could have been a longer period of time.
Yeah, that's great. You're investigating, right? You're just asking more. So you're doing the right thing. Ask more questions, like to get more data on what's happening. At the end of the day, like, another quick, easy handle for that is just like, listen, if what you were doing before worked, you wouldn't be here right now. So if you're just going to get treated here and there, the problem's not, it's obviously not fixing the problem. There's an underlying problem, and we found it on your x-rays. You got a phase 2 breakdown at L4 and L5. This has been going on for a while. And if we continue to do what you've been doing, how do you think that's going to fare for you if we continue to do what you've been doing? It's going to continue to get worse, or what's going to happen here?
It would continue to get worse.
Exactly. So the question you have to ask yourself, is that acceptable to you? And are you ready to do something different so that you can have a different result, so that you can have the kind of life that you want?
Yes.
That's what we're here for. Okay. So again, it's like, you have to uncover the true objection. To think about it, like I think think about it is here. Think about it. It's just, they're sitting on an objection. So the think about it is, hey, listen, people usually in that chair right there, when they tell me that they want to think about it, it's usually one of three things. Can I share it with you?
Yes.
Okay. First one is they don't trust us. Do you trust the fact that we want to help you?
Yes.
Immediately when he said yes, I've established trust. Okay. 2, you're not the decision maker when it comes to money. Are you the decision maker?
Yes.
Perfect. Do you have a money concern?
No.
Okay. The third one, it's a time issue. Okay. Do you have a time issue?
Yes. The extra steps will take more time out of the day.
Now I can handle that. What? Time. Okay. Time. How you handle time is like, if someone says, wow, that's a lot of time. I don't have the time to do this. You agree? I completely understand. It's a lot of time. May I ask what your schedule is?
I typically get off work about 6 to 6:30, depending on the day.
You get off work then? And okay, what time do you start?
We typically start at 8:30.
8:30? Do you take a lunch?
Yes.
Okay, how long is your lunch?
2, 3 hours. Yeah. We have the break.
3 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Time will not be a problem. Our hours exceed yours.
Okay.
So we can actually get you in during that lunch break.
Okay.
Okay. You ready to get going?
Yes.
Let's do this. Okay. Now, if they said if their time exceeds your hours time, then you just go, well, okay, so what are your hours?
We're 8:30 to 11, and then 3 to 6 / 6:30
Got it.
depending on the day.
So, yeah, those are the exact same hours that we have. What do you want to do? How do you see this working out for you?
So I know the response you're looking for. Like for instance, one of the ones that I've had in the past is like teachers, because the teacher can't if the hours are tighter, the teacher can't leave in the middle. Like I understand with the 6:30 that does work out sometimes. That's where the concern comes. So on a job where they could not actually leave, how would you go about that?
I'd go, would it be beneficial for you if you had a doctor's note to take back to the administration? Because in essence, if you don't take care of this, it's going to rob you of more time, because the bottom line is that right now you're concerned about time, but as this condition worsens, do you think you're going to have less time or more time?
Less time.
Exactly. That's why it's imperative that we do this now. So would a doctor's note help you?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that.
And even if it doesn't, even if it doesn't, I think the main thing is too, if they want it enough, they will figure it out, right? Sometimes it's, Dr. Gary, he'll ask a lot of solution-oriented questions. Like, how do you want to do this?
Get them to figure it out. See, the more, not to interrupt you, but the more that you get them to figure out their issue, the more compliant they're going to be. If you solve their problems, it doesn't help. It's the same thing with your kids. Don't solve their problems. Let them think and give you a solution, and they'll become more independent as time goes on. But, the more that you can get your patients to make a decision, to be solution oriented, the more they will follow through with whatever your recommendations are.
I want to make sure we get a couple of quick ones. I want to bang some out here just before the break. I want to get all these, but these ones next. Guarantee and concerned about results.
Okay.
Here's a couple key ones really fast. So concerned about results. Here's what you want to make sure to always do. Social proof. Facts tell, stories sell. Social proof is what when people look at what you do, there's enough people that are doing it that it gives proof socially that this thing works. So here's a couple of things you can preemptively handle with concerns and trust about results by creating social proof before you ever ask for the close. Number one, always do an office tour on day one. And the whole point of that is you want the patient to see in their less than 5 minutes, the first 2 minutes of the meeting in your office, there's a lot of people that look, sound just like them with the same problem that are doing the thing that you're eventually going to ask them to do. So it's like, don't worry, it's okay. Everyone here is doing it, right? There's someone like you at the same, and then also lots of stories. So meaning Empower Testimony is amazing. So having a wellness board, a health and wellness board in your office with 9 or 10 testimonials. A lot of you guys have already put this in place, but the patient can see that. They need to see people like them with the same problem doing something about their condition in your office or having handled their condition. So when I see, for example, I'm 36 and I'm an active guy, right? I'm not an athlete, but I'm just an active guy. I want to stay active the rest of my life. If I have lower back pain, I want to see somebody else who's my age, who looks active, and I've got their lower back pain solved. If I can see that in a glance in 5 seconds of the office or on the wall, you're preemptively, I'm getting triggers that this is the right place. I need to move forward. So results aren't going to be a concern because there's enough social proof. If you have to say it to them, you can just say, listen, I completely understand. I understand that you're concerned regarding the guarantee of your results. The great news is we've been in practice here for 22 years, and we've been working with weekend warriors just like you the entire time. It's not uncommon. We have individuals with lower back pain that love to get out there and lift weights on the weekend, do CrossFit and be active in their lifestyle. We see a lot of patients, as you've seen here as well. Well, I can't guarantee any results. And honestly, if any medical provider ever guarantees those results, you should run in the other direction. But what I can tell you is you have a proven track record to serving people just like you with the exact condition you have. I'm confident that you're in the right place for us to move forward.
And you can even add in there, like, whether you believe this is going to work or not doesn't matter. It will work. You don't have to believe. I'll believe enough for both of us. In fact, you know, if you do you believe in gravity? Yes. Well, even if you didn't believe in gravity, if I let go, it's going to drop. Whether you believe it's going to drop or not. So, you know, you'll believe as we come along.
I love that. I'm going to believe enough for the both of us if I have to get you better.
Yeah,
that's great. You know, and Dr. Gary, talk about in some of these objections. Talk about how you sometimes you just lighten up the mood, right? You might, you know, can get really tense when handling these objections, right? Sometimes and it's money. They don't want to talk about it. It's this and that. It's like some things you might say like to break up the tension a bit. And again, that's an example. Like I'll have belief in the both of us. Or hey, you got a rich uncle? You can have, you know, things like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just lighten it up. The finances should be light. You're done educating. You're done bringing up their awareness. They're a demand for improvement. They want the treatment. The finances should be fun, light, like, you know, just they've already decided. Take the pressure is off. They've already decided to do care. You just have to figure out how they're going to pay for it. And so it's just like to what Ethan just said. Like if someone's having a hard time, like, you know, with money, it's like, hey, listen, do you have a rich uncle? You know, do you have someone who can co-sign for you? Mom, dad, sister, brother? Do you have a favorite sister, brother? You know, I mean, just lighten it up. It's like, just give them ideas. You have a miles card? Man, you get a free trip out of this. Where do you want to go? You know, it's just take the seriousness out of it. Okay, just make it light.
And I think too, if we consider financial serious, we know when we make the big decisions, or then we're going to make the financial in the day too serious too.
Yeah,
that's a really good point to really lighten it up. On if they're really concerned about a guarantee, right? Oh, what does this mean in your service agreement? Or how do you know? I know it's a lot of money. You know, I'm going to get better. And you got one other way you can look at it is, hey, read one more time. Seth, right? Yeah. Listen, Seth, you seem like a very active guy, right? You want to get back to getting back out and hiking and being a weekend warrior and getting back to it, right? I can't get, you know, we're confident what we can do here to get you better. Because again, we've seen people who have a track record of serving people just like you with your condition. But I can't tell you what to do and not to do outside of the office. I don't know what you're going to be doing, you know, in between, especially when you're out of pain, right? When you start golfing, right? I expect you to be golfing both sides of that, all sides of the course, right? Bottom nine, top nine, right? But if you push the envelope too much, that could affect the progress we make. Thus, I can't guarantee the results based on what you're going to be doing outside of the office. I can fully control the results we get within this office. So as long as you just follow our directions, you know, we should be in good hands.
So another way of saying it is use their language. If they say the guarantee, it's like we can't guarantee anything. We, you know, I mean, in fact, Ethan said it earlier. If someone's guaranteeing you something, you shouldn't walk, you should run away. But what I can guarantee you is we're going to give you everything we got to get you as best we can. And we've been in business for over 25 years. So let's do this.
Yeah, perfect. Good. So I should cover the issue of guarantees and concerns about results. But again, a lot of social proof is key to prime them mentally to be comfortable with moving this far. And then when you give them this objection handle, it's like they already see and hear and notice and perceive people just like them already taking action to move forward in your office. So it's little things you do to build trust.
There's the second opinion one. Or actually, have you ever gotten the one where the guy down the street is less money? It costs less to go somewhere else. Have you gotten that?
I can go to the joint for
I go to the joint for $30, right?
$20 a month. Whatever.
So, that one's a really easy one. She's like, listen, I completely understand. Let me, can I ask you a question? Yes. So if everything was the same, would you rather go there or here? No matter, and then if they say, well, I'd rather come here, then you say, why is that? Well, it's closer to where I work. Great. I'm glad that we're close. Like why else? You guys seem like you really know what you're doing. Like I've never had an exam done like this before. Fantastic. We are very thorough. Why else? And you go, why else? Why else? Why else? Until you get a list of why they'd rather come see you. And you just go, that's why we're more expensive. Sign here and here. Now, if they say they'd rather go the other place, understood. Why is that? Now I want to uncover the objections they have with our office so that I can actually address those if I possibly can. Okay. The second opinion, usually there's a trust issue. If they're telling you that they want a second opinion, there's a potential trust issue, or they have an opinion leader who's like a medical doctor or, someone who's in the medical field. If I want to talk to my surgeon about this, I'm like, fantastic. Listen, let me just go over a couple of things with you. First off, if you needed a surgery, would you actually come to myself and ask about the surgeries? And I don't even perform surgery. Would you ask me my opinion on that? Probably not, right? I don't perform surgeries. It's like, why would you ask someone who does do it? So does your surgeon do adjustments and rehab? So what's their background in body mechanics? And then you can go back to re-educate. Sometimes this is a re-education issue. You have to go back to the pamphlets. You have to go back to, what phase of degeneration are you in? Seth, let's just role play it.
I would say 2.
2, yep.
Yeah.
You're right. You're in 2. So if you look at under phase 2, what's it say for under physiology?
Disc narrowing, calcium deposition, bone spurs, and nerve irritation.
Perfect. Where on your x-rays did you have breakdown in your discs and bone spurs?
It was in the low back, right above.
Yeah. Yep. And where is your nerve damage? Like what symptoms are you developing?
A lot of sciatica going down the legs, things going down.
Yep, exactly. So Seth, I just want you to know that you probably trust yourself more than anybody else, and you just gave yourself your own second opinion. I mean, you just told me you're in phase 2. You told me that you have these different conditions going on. We've already reviewed that. So let's do this. I mean, it's like you have to re-educate the patient. So it's again, it's just being able to be not confrontational, but to confront the situation. Because the thing is you have to look at like you're swinging for the fences on everyone, because if you stop, like you don't ask one more time, or if you let things go, the chances of them coming back are 25%. And what you have to take in consideration, if that patient doesn't come back, what are they doing? They're getting worse. Yeah. Some people won't do anything, right? So they're going to get worse. Some people will go to their medical doctor, and what are they going to get? A medication, surgery. So if they go and get do medication, let's say they get an opioid. You guys know that if you're on an opioid for 30 days, you have a 33% chance of being addicted 1 year later, right? Do you guys hear of all the people dying from opioids? There's more people that die a year from opioids than all the wars combined, from the Vietnam War, the Korean War, the Afghanistan, the Iraq. Like you look at all those wars, we had 115,000 soldiers perish in 60 years of wars. And you have more than that dying from opioids and fentanyl every year in this country. Think about this. Does anyone have a calculator? Phone? I want you to punch this in. Go 115,000 divided by 365.
115,000 divided by 365.
Yep. What is that? 315 people dying a day. If you had a plane that was going down every single day, would you fly? Right? So you have to realize that you are saving the patient's life. That's the mentality that you need to have, because you are. Because if they're not getting help from you, what's the chances that they're on a medication or they're getting surgery, which the surgery doesn't go well, which we hear all the time. If you're in regenerative medicine, you know that people come in all the time and go, I wish I wouldn't have gotten that replacement. I wish I wouldn't have gotten that surgery. Right? So like, I want you to understand that as a case man, it's just not the doctor in the office. It's the front desk person. It's if you're a case manager, if you're doing rehab, you're saving the patient's life. And I'm not telling you guys that to put pressure on you. I'm trying to tell you that to inspire you that what you do is so big for that individual. Then that person may not know it, but that's where you have to have, that's where your persistence and your insistence that they actually sign on and care comes from. Because if you have that empathy, you'll ask one more time. You'll ask a third time. You'll ask a fourth time. And if they get upset with you, you'll be like, hey, my intention isn't to upset you. My intention is not to pressure you. Don't confuse that with my persistence. And I know that we can help you. And this is the right place for you. You called us for a reason. You picked up that phone. You decided to walk in. You decided to sit here through your exam, your consultation. You decided to come here for a report of findings. What other messages do you need from the outside to validate to get started on care? And you can say those things to people when it's coming from the right place. You guys with me?
Yep.
Okay.
This is a key pamphlet, Dr. Gary, you put together years back that's really effective. You could change this visual of a knee for anything, back, someone holding it, whatever it might be. But really, this is a typical treatment cycle that every one of our new patients have gone through or are going through or will go through when it comes to joint degeneration or joint condition. So I'm going to pass this around just for a second. I'm going to pass my mic too. What's the joint pain there? It could be back joint pain, could be a knee pain. What's the first step people are prescribed or go to?
NSAIDs,
That's good. Just for those that aren't familiar, what is an NSAID?
non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug.
Yeah, good. Keep going here. Okay, so they've been taking that and then they haven't done anything with their condition. What tends to happen next?
Their pain either stays the same or it increases.
Then facilitating what?
Stronger NSAIDs, so worse painkillers.
Yep, absolutely. Now they're going to do some better. They get some imaging done and they get, there we go.
X-rays,
And then if they're seeing a medical provider, what is the typical next treatment of action?
a cortisone injection.
Very good. And do me a favor and just
Very bad.
very bad. You can just kind of highlight some of the side effects.
Osteoporosis, up to 8% loss of bone in 4 months. Low doses for 1 year can cause cataracts, elevates blood sugar, and suppressed ability to fight infection.
Right? That's not good, right? Some of your patients are on that point in the treatment cycle or they're about to get there. Okay, problem continues. What's next,
MRI.
right? Leading to,
I can't say that. I just work front desks. And
okay, well, you got to know this. This is important.
Yeah.
This is important. Next one.
arthroscopy, which is arthroscopic surgery, followed by full surgery, replacement.
So your patients, when they come and see you, and your patients come and see you on day 1 and day 2, they are usually anywhere on this cycle somewhere, right? And so when they say, I'm going to think about it and get a second opinion, do this, then they kind of move on. They're just going to continue down this cycle in some way. And I know that because I remember I'll always spot check this when I was at, Coastal Integrative Healthcare years ago. And I tell this story all the time because it's a very impactful one. I was with her doctor, Dr. Tim Steflik. It was about 6:30 in the evening. The day was over. And Dr. Steflik was making phone calls to former regen consults that didn't start on care. So they came in, got a day 1, day 2. They didn't begin the program, and weeks or months have gone by. And Dr. Tim, they didn't have to do this, but he would do it religiously. He would get on the phone, make some phone calls, leave some messages, because he wanted to find out what happened. Why didn't they start care? And one lady answered the phone while I was sitting at his desk in front of him. And he goes, hey, this is who I am. I wanted to ask you, you came in a couple months ago regarding a knee condition that you had and so on and so forth, and you decided to move a different direction. Was there anything we could have done better to help you take a more conservative approach? No, you guys did great. Okay. No, it was fine. Okay. What was, would you have to come back in to get this taken care of? Oh, no, I went and saw, and I'm paraphrasing the conversation. It's a little fuzzy. It's been a while, but she basically said, I went back to my ortho, and guess what she did? She got her knee replaced. Okay, it sounds relatively benign. We've all known people that get knee replacements. It's no big deal, right? No big deal. Knee replacements are no big deal. Pass this around. Keep passing it around.
Another homework assignment. Watch a YouTube video on a knee replacement or a hip replacement.
Keep going.
Watch the
Keep it
video.
going. Yep. Yeah, it's just it's a knee. I got my knee replaced, no big deal. Got the surgery, got the knee replacement. Yeah, I'm getting my knee replaced in a couple months here. Gonna go through it. Right. So what happens on the right is what the doctor shows you. What happens on the left is what's actually happening. So he went, oh, I'm so sorry. I wish we could have done something better or something more to make sure you could take a conservative approach. He goes, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I'm going back in to see him, I'm going back in to see him in like a couple of weeks for a follow-up visit because there's been complications from the surgery. What are they probably going to go do? Get it back open, clean it up. And this is going to be a constant cycle for the rest of her life. Right. And more money and then quality of life is going to continue to diminish. Now, can you just get endless knee replacements and endless hip replacements?
2. Your knee is 2. After 2, what do? Amputate.
What about the person's spine? Degeneration. Can they replace your spine? They can fuse it and just live life like this forever. So I just want to make sure that this is going to happen with your patient, where they drop out of care early because they're out of pain, they're whatever, and it's not a big deal, or they say no to care, or whatever the issue is. And the good news is, you guys, you guys have the solution. That's the beauty of it, right? You guys have, what you have. We just have to continue to help ask one more time to make sure they can push a little further to get that taken care of. We got about another 3 to 4 minutes here. We can cover 1 or 2 more, Dr. Gary. Spouse attendance.
Was that a spouse attendance in the day 2? Is that who said that? Was it the spouse attendance coming to day 2, or was it, I got to go home and talk to my spouse? Which one was it?
It was all the above.
On the chat? Okay, so your spouse script should just you have to say it with certainty. So after the exam, it's like, hey, Seth, based on what you have going on, and this is you, the doctor speaking. This is you, the doctor. So based on what you have going on, number 1, you need x-rays. You don't say, I want to see x-rays. You need x-rays. Okay. We need to see, we need x-ray. You need x-rays so we can see exactly what's going on. And the second thing is that we need you back here within 40 hours with your significant other so we can go over the films and the exam findings with them. Okay. So does morning or afternoon work better for you?
And Seth, go ahead and ask him, why does my spouse want to be here?
Well, you know what? First off, what we found in our office is that when the spouse is here during that report of findings, that our patients actually get better 3 times faster because they have more support at home, because we're going to be giving you things to do at home. It's the same thing. Like, look at this, man. Like when I want to lose weight, if I have support from my wife at home, I lose weight. But when I don't have support and she's still cooking all of meals, I don't, it doesn't work out. Right. So the more support you have, you're going to get faster results. Okay. And I'm assuming you make financial decisions together, correct? Because we're going to be going over your care plan with you at that time if we can help you.
So it comes from the doctor, case manager, and the front desk. And pop quiz, the spouse isn't available. Do you wait a month and a half to do day 2? Or what can you do outside of having the spouse physically in the room? What form of technology do we have that we can use?
If they're
FaceTime, yep.
If they're the decision maker in the family,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can't you proceed on day 2 without the?
If the patient is?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. Are you the decision maker in your household?
Yeah.
Good. And if I was going to ask you for 10,000, would you talk to your significant other about it first? No, you'd make that decision.
I don't have one. I make my own decision.
Okay,
Fair enough.
good.
I'm gonna argue this. I'm gonna argue this point.
Okay.
The average person is not going to be in that situation.
Right.
The average person who has a big time and financial commitment needs to have the support of the other person. There are going to be exceptions to that, like maybe yourself or even someone that can handle it on their own, right? But the average person needs to make that decision with somebody, and especially front desk. This is going to be key for you. If that person isn't there in the day 2, you're going to have a hard time keeping that person compliant to the program if the spouse was never in there to hear any of this. Because guess who's picking up the kids from after work now, from school? Guess who's dropping them off at recital and practice? Who's cooking dinner? These life arrangements need to be done. And if the patient does not get if the spouse fully on board with all this, they're going to be struggling to keep with their program, get off work, take care of the kids, and do all that. So I would say for all that reason.
So the spouse doesn't realize the importance of how the severity of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, I want to be doing a spouse group with someone who's single. But I would find out if you have a significant other still, right? But how many of you here are married or with someone? Okay. How many of you, keep your hands up, how many of you can make a $10,000 decision without talking to your significant other or wife or husband? Okay. What's that?
I just a boyfriend.
Got it. Okay. So then it would be like, I would still say that, like, can you make that decision without them? Because, it's you want to confront this head on, and the number one way to get out of something is to say your significant other, okay, next time you go car shopping, don't bring your spouse with you. Don't bring your, because the thing is you can always walk out and get out of buying something. If the significant other isn't with you, can you say, listen, I got to go home, talk about it with the missus. They can't handle that objection. Now, I've had this happen, you have your significant other with you and they really like it. Now you can't get out of it because they like the damn thing. It's like, now you're screwed, so leave them at home the first time you go look, but it's that's one of the objections that they can't handle. And the thing is now one thing that you can do, and we're going to end on this because we've got a break coming up here, is this. If the spouse isn't there, let's say they couldn't make it, and they say, I got to go talk to my spouse about this. Perfect. There's 4 different spouse scripts in the 75 different objection handles that we give. Now, if the spouse can't make it and they say they have to go talk to the spouse during the report of findings, you say, hey, I completely understand. I talked to my wife about everything. In fact, we have a rule that we don't spend more than $500 without letting the other person know. But let me ask you this. When you go home and talk to your spouse about this, is it going to be about the care? Yes or no? No. Is it about the money? Yes. Okay. What is it about the money? Okay. Now, as they are telling you these things, whose objection is it? Is it the spouse's or is it theirs? It's another way to uncover their objection. Okay. And then you can always say, hey, listen, with what I started with. So if you really can't get them to close, like they have to go, like, listen, I want you to get, you need to get treated. You have this problem. What's your agreement? How much money can you spend, without getting in trouble when you go home? Oh, same thing, $500. Good. Can you put $500 down today? And then we will extend that 10% off. When you make that decision in the next week or so, when you come back in, we'll honor that 10% off if you can pay it in full. But then that gives you time to actually get started on care. But then you can go home and talk to the spouse. Whatever. Like that's one way that you can do it. You have to understand what your company policies are on finances.
And if you don't have them, you need to establish them.
Yes. Okay. I know you wanted to go over this real quickly.
Yes. First off, let's go ahead and give Dr. Gary a round of applause, guys. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Okay, so practice is key. And I'm going to go ahead and switch our brains to one more quick announcement before the break here. Then we have some nice charcuterie. I always screw it up. We got cheese and meat trays outside for you guys from the lovely Cindy Tagavi, our Director of Client Services. Before we go out there, I have this in my hand for one lucky person this weekend. What did it say there?
Gift card, $200 with reservations for the restaurant of your choice.
Ooh, so TBA is going to take you and your lovely to the restaurant of your choice for a nice fancy dinner. One lucky person between that room and this room is going to win. Here's how you have a chance to win this week. I have 6 options for you guys. This applies to you guys back home on Zoom too. Last week we had Common Closing. We had a winner on the Zoom session. Get the gift card to good little shopping spree. So you can get it too. 6 ways. We're going to have it right here for you guys. I see you, Cindy. Thank you. 6 ways here. So number 1, I have this right here. I'm going to bust out your phones just for a second. I'm going to get you guys all one ticket right now to get in. I want you guys to go to your Instagram or your TikTok, or fine, go to your Facebook. But go to Instagram or TikTok first if you get either one. And I want you guys to go to our Instagram first. If you're already following us, I can have you do something else here on that Instagram page to get a ticket. But if you aren't yet, you just got to go to the search option on TikTok or Instagram and type in the THEBIZ, the biz _ Academy, the biz _ Academy, ACADEMY. If you're doing this at home, type in the chat box exactly what you did, and we'll get you tickets into the hopper as well. You're gonna get one ticket if you follow us. So go ahead and click that blue follow button. You guys got it? Appreciate that. Awesome, guys. Good. I'm gonna get you guys one ticket on the way out. If you guys want to go to TikTok really fast, I can get you one more ticket if you follow us there. We're almost at 100 TikTok followers. We're posting content, 1 to 3 pieces of content 7 days a week for the entire year of 2023. So we can let the workshop itself live between seminars. So follow us on TikTok. That's one ticket. Follow us on Instagram. It's the second ticket. I'm going to get you guys 2. All right. Can I get you 2 or 1?
I don't have any of those.
Good. I'll tell you what to do next. Okay.
Okay.
You got me on Instagram?
Only on Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. No problem. We'll get you that. Split that in half for me if you can.
Yes, sir.
You got us on both?
I am currently searching for.
Okay. Perfect. Split that in half for me here in a second. Leave it right there. Awesome. All right. You got us on both or just on one? Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Excellent. There's 2. Split that in half and hand me the other side. Both. 1. Excellent. Okay, guys. And if you were playing with us at home, go to the chat box, put your name and exactly what you did, and we'll get you some tickets as well. 2 or 1. Okay, I'll tell you what to do here in a second. Oh, look at you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. There we go. Split that in half for me. No, that's good. I'll just call the number out when we're ready here. All right. And I'll tell you to do in a second. And you got us on just 1.
I've been following on Instagram for months.
You have been. We see you on there all the time. We appreciate that. Split that in half for me if you can. Awesome, guys. Appreciate that. And you can split them in half and put them here in just a second. If you only have a Facebook, just do me a favor. If you go to 3 posts and just do me a favor and stick some comments in there. I don't know. Let's do this is awesome. Whatever you see the video is. If you do 3, if you comment on 3 posts, anybody else can do this right now? 3 posts. I'll get you one more ticket if you comment on 3 posts. Through Facebook, Instagram, or on TikTok, any one of those platforms. If you comment on 3 posts, I'll get you another ticket.
No, is it the same name with the?
On the okay. So Facebook will be the full business name, The Business Academy. And if you comment on 3 posts there, we'll get you one more ticket. Amy's one of our big followers up in Canada there. So is Stacy. And we see Stacy on there too. And Dr. Duff, I mean, he's like an OG Instagram follower of us. We got a people. Three. That's me. The question is, where is the? Actually, there it is. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Good work, guys. I'm gonna get you guys as many entries as possible. Turn on some tunes for us so it's not too silent in here. Sure. Yeah. All right. We're doing the giveaway tomorrow at, I believe, 3:30. All right. Let me know where I can dish out some more tickets here. Okay. Thank you. How many?
Facebook one.
Thank you. All right. Go ahead and split that in half for me if you can.
Inside.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
There you go. More engagement we get, the more Dr. Gary goes viral occasionally.
Facebook.
Oh, thank you. Just put that in half for me. There you go. And Seth, you got one working there?
Yes, I'm posting on the last.
Thank you, sir. Awesome.
Thank you.
Did you guys want more here?
Nothing.
Perfect. Thank you. Trust in the honor system there. All right, guys. There you go. Perfect. Okay. And if you guys take the second half of those tickets and just put them right here for me, I'll get you guys' numbers in the hopper there. Last thing you can do over the break, actually do more than just that, but turn it off again. Okay. All right. So you guys want, I have this, a couple of these signs throughout the office. If you guys are enjoying your time here at this workshop or any other trainings you've done, we love getting your reviews and feedback. So if you hit this QR code with your phone, let's just do that right now so we can at least get the web page pulled up there. And I'll show you what to do. I'll get you another comment there. Let me know if you need me to move around at all.
Have a little closer.
And I'll get you guys on the Zoom there as well here in a second. Got it. If you guys leave us a review, I'll get you guys one ticket. And if you do a little picture.
I got it. Can't load.
Oh, well, I think it's just your phone. Is it your phone? Everyone else is in pulled up there? If you go, you can just Google the Business Academy, Jessica, and you can leave a review. And if you take a picture of you and your team member or you and me and post that to your review, I'll give you a second ticket as well. All right. Good.
Just kidding.
Oh yeah, make sure you're not, thank you. Make sure you're not connected to our Wi-Fi, just yourself, and otherwise they'll flag us. You got it? Cool. Good. And one ticket to leave a review, 2 tickets to add, if you had a picture there as well. So maybe we can get a selfie. Okay, good.
I have to get my angle right. And the light in. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. Good. Oh, yes. Thank you. For those that are online and want to play too. So you got to go to the chat box there. Oh, yes. Oh, pardon me. Excuse me. Get your phone out and scan that QR code. And if it's not working over the TV there, the monitor, you can just go to Google, to our Google My Business page, The Business Academy, go to reviews, leave a review. And if you take a picture of you and yourself on the Zoom there, 2 tickets. If you just leave a review without a picture, it's just 1. And just say your name and all the things that you did, and we'll get those tickets into the hopper with your name on it for tomorrow's giveaway. All right. Excellent. And if you guys are finishing that, you guys can feel free. We also have a testimonial studio where Rana, who's our awesome marketing director, is doing testimonials of staff and doctors of their experience in the Business Academy. If you're courageous enough to get in front of a camera and big lights, share your successes and wins at TBA, you can also get one more ticket there as well. So all I can say, guys, is thank you very much for playing. You can comment on 21 different posts. I'll get you 7 tickets. You can comment on all of our posts throughout the day, and I will get you as much tickets as you guys want. The more engagement we get in the comment section, the more TikTok, Instagram, all kind of stuff, the more they push out the videos to a larger audience. So you guys can do as much of that as you like. Just don't do multiple reviews. That's all I ask. Maybe 1 or 2 is fine, but don't do like 10. And then we should be good to go. I appreciate you guys doing that. And I'll get you guys' name and tickets in the hopper there for our gift card we'll be giving to you guys tomorrow. Our lovely Director of Client Services has put together, is it a meat and cheese platter or is it a charcuterie board? Charcuterie board is ready for you guys. All right, guys, we'll be back in 17 minutes at 4 o'clock, and we'll get rolling here. And okay, we need 25 minutes to charge the batteries to the microphone. So let's see, it's 15, so 10 after. So 4:10 Eastern, we'll be back here in the room to start our final segment of the day.